The state of Florida has 825 miles of accessible beaches, more than 7,700 lakes, and it's home to the Everglades National Park, which is the only place on Earth where alligators and crocodiles both coexist. All of that water means one thing to me: fishing.
Here's one. There's a fish. I got one right here. This is so cool, though.
Now, growing up in Michigan, the Great Lakes were my school of hard knocks when it came to developing skills as an angler. So on this trip, I'm focusing on saltwater and learning some new skills from some of my good friends down in the Sunshine State.
You know, fly fishing is about the hardest way we could do something. You're signing up for one of the most difficult things.
It's the only way to go. That and some probably pretty mean nicknames will make for a good day.
Oh yeah, let's get her done.
My man.
And to crank things up a notch, I'm gonna be as adventurous as possible. So I've decided a majority of my trip will be on a new Sea-Doo FishPro trophy, while the rest of it will be spent night fishing for tarpon.
We are now at the 45-minute mark, and I don't feel that close to this fish.
I'll be 10 miles out to sea, I'll be fishing under docks, and everything in between. Welcome to the Greenway Outdoors. My first stop on this journey would be with Bree Andrassy of Bafishing. Now, she's a Sea-Doo expert and gave me a crash course on the FishPro trophy, highlighting some of her favorite features.
So this is the 2022 trophy. There's also the Sport and the Scout. This is for the avid fisherman. One of my favorites is the live well. If you're fishing freshwater, it's going to be pumping in fresh. If you're fishing salt, it's going to pump in salt.
So talk to me about some of the other features, because I saw some people sitting on a seat and it looked like a fighting chair they were sitting on from a Sea-Doo.
They do have the swivel seat, and if you look back here, this piece conveniently filled with foam, just in case it ever falls off.
Yeah, not that that ever happens.
Not that that ever happens,
No,
never.
not
So this actually pops up, and you're gonna find that it fits right into here.
Okay. Oh wow, you just pop it in there. Do you normally do this before you go out?
No, this is actually once you get to your spot and you want to set up, that's when you're going to put your seat up.
Perfect.
So we're going to then just take this piece right here. All right, and
that is simple.
In the storage container, which this is a very large storage container, we're going to get the back piece out.
Oh, a backrest? Now we're getting spoiled.
Backrest. Look at that. So do you guys use these up north?
In Michigan?
On
yeah,
lakes?
you know, when we're fighting bluegills or walleye, something crazy like that. The speakers, how does this work? Do you have Bluetooth?
Yeah, so it has Bluetooth, it connects to your phone, you can have your playlist, listen to your fishing playlist.
Kenny Chesney while you're out there.
Of course. You'll also notice the front rod holders and the cup holders too.
Cup holders for cold pops?
For cold pops, okay.
Yeah. You never had cold pops?
What's cold pops?
We're from Michigan, so pop is soda. That's it.
Okay, yeah, we can have some soda out there.
Perfect.
Also, if you want to put your rod in the rod holder, but also be able to grab it right away instead of having it all the way in the back, front rod holder is great for that.
You want to launch it?
Yeah, let's go.
Now, the plan was to go offshore right away, but in typical Florida fashion, a storm blew up out of nowhere. So we killed some time bouncing around fishing and chatting before attempting to pass through the inlet.
Seems like there's actually a lot of storage on here too.
Yeah, a lot of people underestimate how much storage is on a FishPro. This entire bin here, so this is where I keep my fishing gear, tackle boxes, all of my safety gear. You have the fire extinguisher and the safety equipment from Sea-Doo, so you have like a whistle, a rope. I always bring extra whistle, visibility distress signal, and VHF radio because I go offshore.
For bait, show me how to work the live well.
And to use the live well function, you just want to push up one on that little lever right by your left hand. That's turning it on continuously. In the middle is turning it off, and then if you turn it to the position closest to you, it's the intermittent setting, so it turns on every couple minutes.
The storm cleared, but the wind stayed. Even so, Bree and I decided to go for it. After all, I took Dramamine. How bad could it be?
So we're gonna go south and then we're gonna drift north. So this is pretty much where we're gonna hang out today. We're gonna do this drift and then repeat it, okay? Take your dog and just cast it out. You wanna leave your bail open for a while, just to let him swim away from the boat. These are definitely not ideal conditions.
Okay, I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
I just felt new tugs for sure.
Sometimes if you just puke and get it out of the way, it helps.
No, I meant the fish.
Oh,
I feel that way too still, but.
here we go. Fish on. Let's see. Kingfish. Here we go. Woo! I'd say that's like a medium size. Heck yeah. All right, your turn. That's a good Eden. Make some fish dip.
Normally when I'm fishing, all I'm thinking about is the bait and catching a fish. This time, I'm just trying not to throw up. But luckily, God sent a fish my way anyhow.
I have a fish. This will be one of the coolest things because you'll get to see me throw up and catch a fish at the same time. And not everybody can do that, you know? Head shakes and all.
Yeah.
Not in Michigan anymore.
Catch him. Woo! How's it
Whoa!
fighting?
I'm going for a ride.
Good. Best feeling in the world. Woo!
I hope it's that shark. Oh wow, that's a pretty color. It's like a highlighter in the water.
If you've been out to sea, you probably heard a boat captain give someone advice to stare at the horizon so they feel better if they're feeling a little seasick. Well, it turns out staring at a fish underwater for 30 minutes has the opposite effect.
I just felt really sick all of a sudden.
Oh no. All right.
Oh God.
Are you gonna throw up?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up.
That's why we have a washdown station.
All right, here.
After I was done making a fool of myself, Bree eventually quit laughing and gaffed my big kingfish. Then I threw on a fake smile for this photo, and we headed back to do some inshore fishing. The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row, and by Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Tracker Boats, fish the finest, and by these other fine sponsors. Bree and I bounced around on some brackish water, chit-chatting and catching a few catfish before I had to get back on the road and head out to Clearwater to meet up with my buddy Frank Viola. Not the famous baseball player, but his son, the famous fisherman. But wouldn't you know it, Florida weather strikes again, and we had another storm that was going to eat up the entire afternoon.
Right now it's 70% chance.
70% chance is going to be on top of us. 100% chance is raining.
See, that's the thing is people don't understand about weather though. When they see 70% chance of rain, they're like, oh, there's a 70% chance it's going to rain. But what it means is that the city that you're looking in, 70% of it will be getting rained on at that moment.
Yes.
That adds like a hint of like optimism because that means there's 30% that isn't in that area. You just got to find it.
We're going to find that 30%. If you look back here, you can see all the rain back here.
When the weather finally did break, we only had an hour of sunlight left. So I was forced to abandon my sea-doo snook fishing plans. Even so, Frank had a great idea and said we could night fish from the boat for giant tarpon. His buddy Court rolled up, who I might add is a world-renowned fly fisherman, and he had the crazy idea of trying to teach me to fly fish for the very first time on giant tarpon.
5 to 90% of my business is sight fishing with a fly rod.
Okay, well I got news for you. If 85% of the people that are coming down here are to fly fish, I'll be honest, I've never fly fished a day in my life.
All right, well,
So
we're gonna start you out in the World Series.
perfect.
Trust me when I say that is as ridiculous as it sounds, but I'll try anything. Plus, the idea of seeing these beasts roam on the flats was just too exciting to not try. Court gave me about a 4-minute explanation on how to fly fish, which obviously isn't enough time. But the goal was to at least get some baits in the water while we were seeing fish. I can't explain to you how frustrating it is to be able to visually see fish but be unable to cast to them because you just don't know how to fly fish yet.
Oh, he's gonna eat it. He's gonna eat it. He's gonna eat it.
But honestly, if you're learning something new, you can't be afraid to look stupid, and the only way to learn to do something right is to do it wrong first.
These fish are migrating. This is kind of their northern push. They're coming up from Cuba and the Caribbean, and they'll push all the way up the coast of Florida. Really both sides of Florida, but our Gulf Coast has a lot shallower water, so we can target them with the fly rod a lot better here. And they'll come up, and then during the big moons, or the new moon, they'll push off and go offshore to spawn. They'll go out, you know, really not sure how far, but they'll go out to 100-foot plus water and spawn, and then they'll return back to the beach.
He's saying 10 o'clock. Do you see it?
Yeah, see this where the water kind of goes from nervous water to glass?
Yeah.
There's a push right there.
As you probably guessed, in the 25 minutes I fly fished, I didn't hook up with a tarpon. But I will say I got to enjoy an incredible sunset, and this tiny taste of fly fishing made me want to really dedicate some time to it and learn when I get home. I might also mention I hate losing, so I am now very motivated to catch one at night on rod and reel.
All right, Kyle, after that tremendous display of fly casting, I think it's better off we go with bait for this adventure.
If they would have just cooperated and ate where I put it, it would have been fine.
Oh my God, Court, what were you thinking, dude?
Let's just do bait, okay? Metal handle.
Metal handle. There you go, close that hatch.
Okay.
All you're gonna do now is you're gonna twist it a little bit, then pull it down and twist it back tight again.
Hey man, if you want to have two of them, you can have two of them.
Is that why your girlfriend dumped you? You're a
Yeah.
little aggressive? Just kidding.
Too soon, man.
I got dumped too recently. It's okay. Well, not
Did you?
recently, but
Well, it's like this thing where
I'll be
it's
a man
like,
about it. I'll be honest.
you guys are too cool, too nice, and then that's
It's always a nice card.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass. You
Yeah.
should have met me 15 years ago. You'd have loved me. I would have cheated on you.
I wouldn't have been that nice at all.
No.
We got those nets out to catch small crabs for bait. You see, the outgoing tide late in the day is the strongest running current, and it's feeding time for the tarpon. Small crabs can't swim against the currents, so they just go with the flow. Meanwhile, the tarpon wait in the bay, facing into the current, waiting for their crab snacks to come down.
There you go, Kyle.
That's a nice one. Oh God, he's aggressive. So that's the bait.
That's the
And
bait
these
right
guys are just floating down. Talk about efficiency though. You don't gotta stop at the bait shop because all the bait just comes to you. And you put these in, put them on the hook, and they'll float down just like all the others. Tarpon are here eating.
Time to go. Let's do it. All right, Kyle, you ready to fish? Well,
I'm ready to fish.
Care boat's right there.
I got the crab.
That's the one you want?
Oh yeah, this is the only one that matters.
All right. Right there. That's our bait. All right, Kyle, come on back here. Keep your hands smooth on the line. If you get a bite, the line's gonna start shooting out. You just slap your bail shut and hold on, and you just hold on.
Yeah.
This fish is gonna jump. This is different than a fly rod. You don't have that flex that we have on the fly rods. You have got to reach. When he jumps, you have to reach.
Okay, so every time he jumps, you're putting your line out towards him.
I'm going from here, and I'm gonna point as far as I can without falling off the boat, give as much line as I can.
And then once he lands, Just go back to reeling?
Go back to tight, and then he's gonna jump again and again and again.
Okay. There's no reeling right away, is there?
No, you're not gonna reel at all. I mean, unless I yell at you to reel, I might yell at you a little bit. That means the fish is coming back at us, but if he's running, you can't do shit to stop him.
Cool.
Excuse my language. I can't wait either, dude.
I'm pretty pumped about it. I was saying, we were driving here, and I was like, you know what? I might catch the biggest fish I've ever caught today.
Reel, stop, harder, stop. Keep your rod up, I can't see where he's going.
Off to the left.
Right underneath us.
Getting there.
Nice and smooth now. Yep, we gotta go turn around.
Now he's over there, yep.
Reel. Nice and smooth, there you go. Keep going.
So we're moving towards him, and when we do, that's why he's yelling at me to reel faster, because
Which way's it going, Kyle?
he's
Right to the damn fenders. Keep the line tight for me. This fish doesn't waste any energy, so this could be a long bout. She's on the rocks, dude.
That's how she liked your drinks?
On the rocks, yep. She's all the way up in there, dude. Reel down, too high. Nice and smooth.
It's very random. Like you think you're good, and then she comes real close, or then she takes off, or
Yep.
and it's constant. And then if she runs towards you, your rod goes up, and then it's too high, and it's just a constant up.
There she is, just came up and built some air. When that fish comes up, they got reserve air bladder, so they get extra energy by breathing oxygen on top of the water. So when they come up, you want that rod in the water, and you want to try to keep her from breathing air.
No
If you can
kidding.
keep her breathing air 1 or 2 times, the fight's over. You win.
I'm only human. I'm relatively certain this fish is as big as me.
Yes, this fish is as big as you. There she is right there.
Yep.
Lift up. Reel down, pull left. Bring the rod to me,
I swear I'm. She going again. They had her right here, and then she just takes off again.
What we're doing right now, we're neutral. She's now going against the current, and we're making her pull the boat around.
Like making her spin it. So I'm pulling on it. She's trying to go that way.
So she's pulling on his line, his rod, his body, all of us in the boat and the boat. She's pulling all this weight now, up current. There, she came up the surface right there. He just kept her down. You kept her down. Now, let's get some help. You want to use your body as opposed to your arms. Stick that rod above your ding-dong on that pelvic bone, and you can kind of use your core. You're going all arms right now.
I'm flipped up right now. I can't.
This is where the real fight starts, right here. Seriously, I got you kind of locked down now on the drag. I want you to work this girl. She just jumped. She's tired herself out a little bit. You might get a good shot of this fish right here. Pull down. Pull her down. Reel down now. Pull her down. All right, nice and smooth.
Stay down there. No.
Down.
Stay down. Stay down.
She didn't get air.
Nice. I got her down. I got her.
Down and right.
No.
That's right, you did good. Handstand. There's the adrenaline rush.
No.
It's okay, you're doing great, man.
So every time he's telling me switch left or right, he's saying that because the fish is swimming that way. I want to pull the opposite because it makes the fish turn the boat and pull and have to deal with that much more stress. The most amount of pain you can inflict on the fish at any given moment is what you're looking to do to tire it out. So far, it seems as though I'm not exactly doing that because we are now at the 45-minute mark and I don't feel that close to this fish.
This isn't way close to you, it's like your ex-girlfriend. Come on, reel her in.
Keep bringing her up. I don't want her anymore. Cut the line. She's nothing but trouble. All kinds of drama on Facebook. I can't do it.
I love it, dude. Don't reel. Pull right. Keep her head up. Pull her head up. Come on.
Hold on, Frank. Get in there.
Ow! Oh, shit.
That's you, Frank Viola. That's you. That's you, Frank.
Oh, baby!
You got it. I think, right?
Look at the hook right there. That hook went all the way through. That is so rare. You button that fish up perfectly, dude.
Thank you.
It's pretty obvious that even after an hour fight, this fish was still extremely powerful. So none of us were that surprised when she blitzed Frank one more time, snapped the line, and went on her way. It was heartbreaking in the moment, but looking back at the fight, I'm pretty content she swam off under her own power with plenty of strength left, and it's pretty cool that she's still out there somewhere. And besides that, I was ready for bed. The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row. And by Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Tracker Boats, fish the finest. And by these other fine sponsors.
I've been on like 4 or 5 different fishing trips in the ocean targeting wahoo. Now wahoo is a super sought after fish, and they look, at least the body shape wise when you're catching them, similar to a kingfish. And when we'd be bringing them up, everyone would be like, man, I hope it's a wahoo, man, I hope it's a wahoo, man, I hope, and then it's a kingfish, and they're like, fish dip. And that was like the go-to. If you got kingfish, you made fish dip, and it wasn't as good as wahoo, but you could make it work. I'm actually excited about it because I've never made fish dip, but this is the perfect fish to make it apparently, because that's all anybody talks about. Jeff, what did you do to make this?
So you start with a dry brine, which is half brown sugar, half kosher salt. You get that packed in the fish, get in all the crevices, and then you let that sit in the fridge for probably about 30-45 minutes. Then you pull it out and you rinse it off, get all that stuff off there because otherwise it gets real salty. Then you put it back in the fridge after you pat it dry and let it sit for like 3-4 hours. That develops a skin on the meat, which is called a pellicle, and that smoke can adhere better to that dry skin. You know the stuff?
Yep. Prepared it nice. All right, let's make our dip.
All right.
Start with how much?
About 2 cups of fish.
Okay.
And pulled that out nice.
All right, next up.
Yeah, that's a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt.
Greeks were always good with the yogurt.
You got some capers, go ahead. Squeeze one of those lemons. Try not to get seeds in there. You got a seed in there.
That's okay.
You'll eat that bite.
Yep. And then what's
Then
our
you
season?
got dill, black pepper, and garlic.
Awesome.
And some hot sauce.
How much?
As much as you want.
More.
That's probably good. Start. You can add more later. Stop.
That's enough. And just mixing it up.
Mix it all up.
All right.
Now it's a pretty thick, it's a spread, not a dip.
Yeah. It's a lot of
Put it
mostly
on
fish.
crackers. You can actually like more eat this as a meal as opposed to a snack because it is pretty fish heavy. And then the Greek yogurt, it's a little lighter than other, spreads that you'd have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Grab you a cracker.
Spoonful of the dip there.
Wait. Just,
This is for me. Here, I'll get you. I'll get you.
I got it.
I got you.
good.
It's like
you're gonna get it on my hand, I'm
here.
sure.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got a whole lot of smoke flavor.
Yeah.
It's not fishy.
No.
I wouldn't say it's fishy whatsoever. And that's good because we had to ship it back from Florida.
I definitely did the brining right because if you leave it in too long, you get real salty.
Yeah.
And this isn't too salty.
Yeah, not bad.
On this episode, I bounced around Florida targeting a variety of fish and building great memories with amazing friends. On the day we left, I snuck out in the morning on some brackish water with the Sea-Doo, and I finally was able to catch the snook I've been after. Fishing for that snook felt a lot more like the adventures I'm used to back home, fishing small ponds and on the Great Lakes. Looking back on this trip, I tried a lot of new things. And while I did succeed at catching a kingfish and a tarpon, I definitely wouldn't say I earned any style points. But in the end, I put myself out there and gave it my all. Ecclesiastes 11:6 says, "In the morning, sow your seed, and don't be idle until evening, because you don't know which seed will do good." I take that to mean you should work hard at what you want out of this life each and every day, because you don't know which interaction, or which idea, or in my case, which cast will bring your dreams together.